WingX makes using waypoints very, very simple. There are three primary ways how to use waypoints in WingX. Let me show you. I've set up a route from San Jose International down to LAX. We can get the terrain along that route by just tapping on the terrain profile view button at the bottom and selecting route, and that'll show us what the terrain looks like along our route. So we can watch this as we change the route during this demonstration. If we wanted to set up a waypoint, let's say 5 miles to the east of San Jose VOR, we can simply tap on we can enter SJC 090, which is east, and then 005. And then WingX will automatically enter that waypoint, which is SJC 090005, which is what we entered 5 miles east of the San Jose VOR. You can enter any identifier, any radial as a 3-digit number, and any number, which is the distance. This is kind of a standard format. You can even enter a 0.3 on there if you wanted, for example. So that's one way to do it. Another way to use waypoints is, let's say we wanted to rubber band over this lake. You can simply tap and hold and rubber band and say add waypoint to route, and not only will that waypoint be added to the route, but I don't know if you noticed the terrain profile view changed at the bottom down there as well. So it's all working dynamically and in real time. And then a third way is, let's say we wanted to, right over, for example, Los Gatos somewhere, we wanted to add a waypoint. We can tap and hold and say create waypoint. Now what WingX will automatically do is take the lat long of that position that you tap and held on and put that in the lat long boxes. If you tapped on the use GPS location, it would use your current GPS location, so it would ignore the lat longs that it had used from that point. So if you just wanted to add your point, you can just tap and hold anywhere on the map, say create waypoint, and then use GPS location. But by default, it's going to use the lat longs that you tap and held on. In terms of the formats, you can actually use 3 different formats. Tap on the I, which is the information button on the right hand side, and you'll notice that WingX can use either just the degrees as a decimal, it can use degrees minutes where the minutes are decimal, or it can use degrees minutes seconds where the seconds are a decimal. And this gives you a lot of flexibility in how you want to enter your coordinates. You can use, you can kind of mix and match. So if you want to use latitude in this format and longitude in that format, you can. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. So it's very flexible in that regard. So if we entered, for example, my house, and we called it just like an airport would have an identifier and a name, that's what you would enter there. And then just tap on save. Now if you go back and look at the moving map, you will see my house is down there. And now we can use that as any other fix. So just tap on it and select my house. You'll notice the identifier and the name, just like an airport would come up with, and you can add it to your route, show above. If you had the terrain selected, go direct to, show nearby fuel or weather. And so basically you would just use it as you would any other fix. Now because we've saved that waypoint, that is actually part of our Waypoint database. So if we came back in a few days and we had deleted this route, my house would still be part of your Waypoint database that you can use. So in this case, let's just add that to the route. Now if you watch, you'll notice our terrain profile view will change at the bottom and the magenta line will change in the moving map. So it all works very dynamically. Let's add that to the route. You'll notice a slight change there as we made this little detour, but there it is, part of the route. And if you look in the route on the left, you'll see WingX inserted it in the correct place, which you can verify with a magenta line. So again, 3 very quick and easy ways to use waypoints in WingX. Identifier, 3-digit radial, and 3-digit distance, or you can put a decimal on there. Tap and hold and say add waypoint to route, that's rubber banding. That's a temporary waypoint that's just used to rubber band. Or you can just tap and hold and say create waypoint, which would then be part of your moving map and your waypoint database, and that would be saved for later. You can use that in any other routes later on. So that's waypoints, and don't forget, if you forget the format of the lat longs, just tap on that little I and you will see the 3 different formats. Thank you very much. Hope you like this.